To continue. Sue the state. What about God's chosen people, the Israelites, the Jews? What about Christ himself? The beauty as a Christian is, of course, that Christ rose from the dead and he will come again. I haven't got my scarf on, have I? It's a bit early in the morning. I'm not properly dressed. Never mind, I've got a red poncho from Peru, which I think has got the highest rate of COVID deaths per million. I was there last year. I found these words in Psalm 37, I think, verses 3 to 5. Commit your way to the Lord, trust in him, and he will make your righteousness shine like the dawn, the justice of your cause like the noonday sun. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. So, putting this slightly in context, my own personal tragedy and suffering of the suicide of my son, as mentioned earlier, who would have been 28 on coming November the 12th of this year, having been born on Thursday the 12th of November 1992 at 8 3/4 pounds. Mr. Fordry was the surgeon. He was 2 weeks premature breech, so that's his bums coming first. So my former wife wanted a home birth, but she had to go in for a planned cesarean. Otherwise, both child and mother could well have died. So there we are. I was there. I was the first one to hand it, little handy. He held my finger. It's called meconium. It's sort of white, greasy stuff when they come out of the womb to protect their bodies, because it's obviously fluid in there. You've got to clip off the umbilical cord and oh dear. And I held him first. It was an epidural, so her top half was awake, believe it or not, my former wife. They're cutting around down there, but they put in, it's about C7, I think, on the vertebrae. The anaesthetist took some 3/4 of an hour. You see, you inject, if you hit the nerve and then inject this very potent anesthetic, I'm afraid you get minus points to that one, I can tell you. You inject near the nerve and it then performs its function, which is to anesthetize from there downwards. If you stick the needle into the nerve, I'm afraid the consequences are not very good. So, epidural, 3/4 of an hour. I was there, 10 a.m, Thursday morning, beautiful sunny day. I was working in a computer contract down at Bristol for clerical medical. Then I had my own small computing company by then, got out of medicine myself. And I drove up the night before, beautiful full moon. We had a little Morris RAF blue it was actually, with leather seats and big old wooden steering, bouncy, and lots of oil leaks. I drove up on the Wednesday night from Bristol, and then Thursday morning dawned. Thursday the 12th of November dawned. There he was, Central Milton Keynes. So I hung about from about 9:15, 3/4 of an hour, and he popped out, and Mr. Ford just cut a small cut. You want to make the cut as small as possible to reduce the trauma in the woman, minimize the trauma, not reduce, minimize. So there we are. 8 3/4 pounds, Robert Francis. And I know he's mine. They put little tags on both of his wrists. Both wrists. See, because losing babies, you get minus points for that one as well. Oh, which one is this then? They all look the same. It doesn't really matter. You definitely get minus points for losing a baby. So there we are. And that's God's will. That's how I see it as a Christian. The fact that all the other stuff then unfolded. Right, injustice. God's chosen people, the Israelites, have, of all peoples, I think, suffered the longest. These are the words of Simeon. Again, I know a few passages from the Bible. I'm no expert at this. But, Lord, when he saw Christ at the temple, when he was 12, I think, he was teaching the elders Christ, because, of course, he was perfect in everything he said and did. Lord, now lettest thou thy servant depart in peace, for mine eyes hath seen thy salvation, which you have prepared in the sight of all people, a light for revelation to the Gentiles, and for the glory of thy people, Israel. Amen. So what about their suffering? I mentioned it earlier. Hitler, I'm pretty sure he committed suicide with Eva Braun, wasn't it? In the bunker or something, I don't know. But he had instigated through the German people. He didn't do it alone, old Hitler. I'm afraid the jolly old Germans went along with it, to put it mildly. Six million Jews, but I have this figure of 20 million Russians who died during that Second World War in my head. Again, I mean, I do get facts wrong. I think I said the distance to the sun is about 92 miles. 92,000? Oh no, it was awfully sorry. I believe it was 92 million. Just dropped off 3 noughts. It was awfully sorry. Yeah, I say. Fortunately, the jolly old sun wasn't listening to me. I was 96, but apparently it's 92.381 or something. Million miles. Now, I looked it up. I think that's right now. The distance from the sun to the earth. Just a nice sort of distance, you see, to get enough rays to kind of for life, but not to fry us altogether. Right, justice versus injustice. Well, I have not. I mean, for instance, I have been in Africa. I'm afraid I've physically held a small little black child in my arms as it died of AIDS, almost certainly acquired through its mother. They were on the route, lorry route, so the drivers stop and the women are poor, so one thing leads to another, and there we are. This little one, we christened him Luke. He'd been hidden away. I think they tried to sort of, just sort of rub him out, really, but obviously someone must have fed him, because he made it to 2 years old, but he had the body the size of a 6-month-old. Luke. Yeah, I used to walk about it with him in my arms. He just said, "Ma." He had no language, you see. He'd just been locked in a cupboard, never socialized. So where's God then? The best answer I've ever had is from a Roman Catholic nun sister. Their little souls go straight to heaven. I can't lose my faith. I've been through too much. Okay, I live my life in manus tuus Domine. I put my hand in God's hand like a child. I close my eyes and let God guide me. I walk with God, with my hand in his, trusting him. This is another quote, I'm afraid, from Proverbs. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not upon your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. Amen. Afraid I've got a third one now. This is the opening of Psalm 1. Blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, or stand in the way of sinners, or sit in the seat of mockers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. He is like a tree planted by the streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Amen. Yeah. It's only salt water. It's good, actually. It's when you can't cry, it's a problem. Releases endorphins. It's good. So, justice versus injustice. Well, I don't know. What compensation is it to anyone whose family members or friends, for that matter, but have been falsely killed, murdered, whatever? There's plenty of it about. Desaparecidos, I think they call them, wasn't it? In South America, disappeared ones. Oh, dear. Right, enough of this. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts. Well, Christ will come again. I mean, that's the happiest thought. What if you walk through your door now? Are you ready? Am I ready? I forgot my scarf. I haven't got my red scarf on. I'm not improperly dressed. Oh dear. So, Christ will come again at the end times. This person, my gas, I'm with British Gas. When you ring them up, the blooming call centre is in Cape Town, South Africa, believe it or not. And I'm chattering away there in English to what they're called Cape Coloureds. So I'm afraid this is the reality of the situation. The indigenous peoples and whites turned up, so they're mixed race. And there we are. And we both agreed we had faith. So his computer was really slow. This is Friday. I spent hours on the phone yesterday. 3 or 4 hours in the end, trying to sort out my bills and whatever. But while we were waiting, we got onto other subjects. He's got 2 children, 6 and a little one, etc., etc. Whilst we waited for this computer to load up. So, ramble. What's the answer? Life. Life is for living. That'll do. Amen. This is the 4th piano concerto still, I'm afraid. Conducted and played by Daniel Barenboim, Ludwig van Beethoven.